Hello.
Hello. Is anyone out there?
It's
a mom's night out.
Tonight, we are in New York City with the fabulous Desiree Verdejo, beauty entrepreneur and founder and CEO of Hyper Skin. Desiree is a native New Yorker, a former attorney, and a lifelong beauty lover. Prior to launching her company Hyper, she operated the store Vibrant Beauty in Harlem in New York City from 2015 to 2018 to showcase brands created by women, people of color, and locals. In 2019, Desiree launched Hyper Skin to focus on the most pressing skincare concerns for skin of color, starting with hyperpigmentation. Hyper is an easy-to-implement, results-oriented skincare brand rooted in multiculturalism and is currently in 250 Sephoras nationwide. I should also mention you can now find Hyper in Nordstrom as well. I've been using Hyper over the last few weeks. I definitely have some dark spots from my 3 pregnancies, and I'm loving it. Desiree is also a mom to 2 littles and an avid Real Housewives lover. I met Desiree back in 2013 when our husbands worked together at a software company. Cheers! Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's a true mom's night out.
I know. I love it.
Welcome, Desiree. We are so excited to have you. It's been a long time since I've seen you.
Lots of years, lots of babies, lots of things.
Lots of babies, moves, all the things. Yeah. And so thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. We wanted to kick tonight off a little bit fun, and we know you're a Real Housewives fan. So talk to us about who's your favorite Real Housewife?
Okay, so my favorite ever is Portia.
Oh.
And so it's really sad that she's no longer a housewife, but she's like my forever favorite. I don't know right
And
now.
she was Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
She was Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then she decided that she didn't need to be anything anymore.
She hit it big.
I know. And she was like, why would I live my life on camera when I could just enjoy it?
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, she's just silly and I love her. But I've been watching Potomac lately. I don't know that I'm loving it though. Like I feel like there's just like a lot of arguments and like real, like I don't like when it gets to like divorce and bankruptcy. I don't want to feel bad when I watch TV. Like
or they go to prison.
Yeah, please don't go to prison. Like I can't enjoy that on my Sunday
I just
night.
want to see you on a vacation fighting about something dumb.
I want to see the glamour, the fashion. Don't.
Me too.
Yeah, please don't go to federal prison.
We're not naming any names.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, all the lawsuits and stuff. I couldn't get into it. So
yeah, I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, Bravo is just exploding with lawsuits right now.
I know. It's really messy.
So it's a little scary.
Yeah. I'm curious to know what's going to happen with the franchises and how.
Yeah.
Me too. We all love Bethany Frankel. I don't know how you feel about her.
I have mixed feelings about her, but I still pay attention to her because I think she has a bit of rawness that's needed.
Yes.
Sometimes a little too raw, but
Agree.
yeah.
She's
a smart woman.
New Yorker.
She's a New Yorker. They're intense. Yeah. She's always like ripping things open and like has these strong views on like $6 products. And I'm like, if it doesn't work, like sometimes you waste $6. I'm always surprised by how strongly she feels about things. But she's really,
you should send her Hyper skincare.
I should send her Hyper. I should, yeah.
Oh, why not?
Because she'll use it or she'll bring it to her local Marshalls and give it to someone.
Wait, that.
All right, I think we got to get that going. We need to send her one.
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay, so this is a little bit of an open-ended question, but talk to us about being an entrepreneur. You probably hear that word so much, but a momtrepreneur, right? Because you have 2 kids. How do you balance both?
I think, and you all are mothers, so I don't really need to explain this. It's very messy. And it's funny that it's messy because there is this image of motherhood on social media, and I spend a lot of time on social media, running a beauty brand. And there's this image of a founder, and they're all like so polished and so together and so balanced. And like life is none of that. Like I feel like I am attached to my calendar. I am always somewhere, like just pulled in so many directions. And I love each direction. Like I love being a mom and running Hyper is a huge passion of mine. And I think a lot of my like talents and favorite things to do in terms of like creating and connecting with people, I get to like do through this business, but it's just really insane and really messy. And so
I love that answer.
I love that. I have the chills.
It is, right?
Honest, yeah.
I have the
Oh my
chills.
gosh. So I think like I just wish I could see more of that reflected, because sometimes I'm like, am I not doing it wrong? Do I need another nanny? Like, don't judge me. I will get another nanny. Like, what do I need? Like, because you don't see it, but it really is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we relate to that
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
Right. And
I
that's
know.
sort of what bonded us through our friendship, because we started getting real about it. And we took
it
down
wasn't all
those
perfect.
walls and we're like,
Yeah.
this is not.
Yeah. Like, is this happening on your side?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
why aren't women talking about that?
I know. I recently recorded my morning routine because I'm a single parent.
Oh my gosh.
But not like my husband goes to work at 5:30.
I came across wrong. A lot has changed in the last few minutes. Tell me more. But yeah.
No, I mean, like, I'm single parenting because he's at work and I'm just with the 3 kids. And he's
Okay.
like, you forgot all the like chaos. He's like,
Yeah.
you made it look so nice.
I know.
But it's because like I needed 2 hands for the chaos. I
Yeah.
couldn't record it.
I get it.
And
So
you're like,
anyway.
how much chaos should I add?
Yeah.
I feel like having a brand means that I have to decide how much of myself I want to put into the brand, because there is this like founder-led brand image. And so my team is very Gen Z, and they're always like, give us a day in your life. And I'm like, you don't want a real day in my life. Like by 9 o'clock, I have lived 3 lives.
It's
Like it does
insane.
not start with a matcha. Let me tell you.
It's like jolting out of bed.
Yeah.
Somebody's crying.
Yeah,
I'm
always.
yelling. I'm like, get your shoes on. Right?
Well, the first few minutes we were here, we all realized, I mean, we knew we had like kids all the same age, but
Yeah.
that's why your kids are the same age as
Yeah.
ours. So like,
Yeah.
It's
we
insane.
can totally relate.
Like
of,
a
like the morning.
6-year-old going to school with something important. Like there's always a show, or this,
Oh,
or
yeah.
a report, like something. And a 4-year-old who newly has found that he has a style. Which I'm like, you're 4. There's no style. Like all of your clothes are from Target, but like he like wants to choose his own clothes. Doesn't want to wear this. Doesn't want to wear that. Mornings are insane.
Okay, are you seeing with your son? My son is doing this pants with shorts over the pants trend. And I'm like, whoa. That's double the laundry. We're not doing
we're
that.
not doing that. No, my son just likes to change a lot throughout the day.
Okay.
Corbin has like, she always wears her hair back in headbands, so now he wears like the sports bands.
Okay.
We are going out with sports bands. He's finding himself.
That's
Yeah,
sweet.
I love that. I
His
think that's
4-year-old
what 4
self.
is for, right?
Yeah.
It's sweet. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
little people. They're becoming
Yeah.
little people.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay, so you kind of talked about your typical
Yeah.
day. That's
Yeah.
what we were going to ask you.
sorry.
but-
Yeah.
No,
it was
sorry. That
it was like very natural of like how we
Yeah.
got there. And I mean, anybody with kids and working and running around, husband, friends, you're going a million different directions at all times.
What time would you say your morning starts? Because that's a question that Jen asked us recently.
Yeah. 6.
Yeah.
My kids start at 6:30. So on a good day, I wake up at 6.
Yeah.
So that I'm like ahead of
Okay.
the game.
Yep.
For a second, when you said start at 6:30, I stupidly was like, they start school at 6:30. No, they wake up at 6:30.
Yeah, they wake up at 6:30. They get to school between like before 9 o'clock. So it starts early. It starts at 6. Yeah. So I start calls at 10. But by the time I'm on my first call, it's like
You've already had the whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah. A full
We
day.
get that. You need a nap by that time.
And everyone else is just getting started.
Yeah.
Okay, so what keeps you going and what motivates you to keep driving forward?
I definitely, when it comes to business, have a huge vision. And that's always like hard to balance with being in your starting phase.
Yeah.
You know, people see, we're in Sephora. We've just launched. We are definitely one of the youngest, smallest brands there. A smaller selection of products. But the vision that I have for the brand is huge. Like I want to be in every Sephora globally.
Yeah.
I definitely, I've always had acne prone skin and all of the issues that came with that, and didn't have like a go-to in skincare, and really want to be that go-to for people that look like me and people that have skin challenges like mine. And so I think like having a big why really motivates me, because I feel like I'm nowhere near where like I envision the brand being. Yeah, so I think that's my like career why. And then like doing it in front of kids makes it really like, first of all, it needs to work because it's crazy. So if it doesn't, I can be home.
Right.
There's that. And then also I just want them to see what it looks like to chase your passion. And so yeah, I think all of that together is like the motivation.
I think that is an amazing answer.
Yeah. And by the way, you're in 250 Sephora's.
Yeah,
That's a big deal.
It's such a big deal. No, it is. It is. And you know what? I think it is so easy to compare yourself to the next brand, to the biggest brand in Sephora. I was speaking to someone about this recently. Like, I have a meeting with Sephora, and like when I go to my meeting, I bring croissants or some sort of treat. And I thought I was like doing something really like chic, right? And then I was chatting with a friend who's like the director of marketing at one of their top hair care brands. And she was telling me about the same meeting that her company has. And she was like, and we rent this hotel, and then it's catered by this company, and then these are the facial. And I was like, oh my God.
You're like,
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So
You're gonna get there.
It's just like, I feel like sometimes what others are doing, whether it's having billboards or taking over stores or what have you, working with celebrities, it can be, you can focus too much on it. And I try not to, but it's really hard.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in a field where your competitors are, you know, like forward facing.
Yes.
And so you can see everything they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this on social media today.
On social media.
I can imagine that's
Social
really
media is
hard.
Just.
Well, we feel that way about the podcast,
Of
right?
course.
Like we just launched, and we were just talking with you. We're like, wait a minute.
Just launched them.
Yeah.
You just launched.
But we were reading some articles that you had done previously, and I think you kept saying that. You said, you know, it takes time to build a brand.
Yes.
And I loved that message, because everyone's into this overnight success story. That's just not real.
It's not real. It's
Right?
not. Yeah.
So kudos to you
Thank
for that.
you. Yeah.
Where do you see Hyper in 5 years?
In 5 years?
Maybe even 10.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, we started very niche. We wanted to really like speak to our core customer and expand from there and build trust. And so in terms of categories, I definitely am excited to speak to an array of skincare concerns. I definitely see our brand being a global brand. I think as a brand that centers Black faces and brown faces and beyond, features a very like, that speaks to a very multicultural audience. There's an opportunity to be in the United States. There's an opportunity to be abroad. And so I definitely keep that in mind, in the back of my mind, when it comes to like a 5-year plan. But I'm just really like excited to build brand awareness at this stage so that in 5-10 years, people know Hyper. Because right now I just get excited when people know it.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh my God, you know what that is?
That's so cool.
So yeah, really like I feel like we're in our brand building stage right now.
Talk about the culture of your company, right? So you're building a brand, but you're also running a company.
Yeah.
And you have employees. And what's important to you in that culture?
Yeah. That's, you know what? I think culture is definitely very like top down. So I think being a mom, it is definitely, I'm a mom, but my team is all like single, child-free, younger women.
Yeah.
But I do think that I make it clear that my free time is precious and that there's work-life balance. And so that is definitely felt within our company. And then I think, you know, there's diversity. Like obviously we're a brand that is Black owned and speaks to a multicultural audience. But I think this idea of like being open-minded is like something that's felt on our team.
Yeah.
It's something that we think about beyond skin tones. Like today I was speaking about our content and we realized we need more body diversity because these are things that they're not necessarily part of our skincare brand, but like, you know, there are elements that really create this true sense of diversity. So I think there are a lot of things that are very top down. And so I have to like be aware of them sometimes.
Totally.
Because, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to, because it's a thing that we've talked about before, of just like our craziness of life and working and all the kids, like, and I feel like what are you able to outsource as a business owner and as a mother? And, you know, do you outsource or do you try to do it all yourself?
No.
The people who pretend they're doing
Pretending they're doing it ourselves.
People are pretending.
I see that, and I think it's cruel. There's so much shame. I think people really shame moms no matter what we do.
Yes.
And so I feel like I've always needed help. Like, just domestically, it's not my strong suit. So
Same, girl.
like, I'm just not very like good at many things outside of just like directly caring for my kids. But even when building Hyper, I was, I guess, a stay-at-home mom while building Hyper.
Yeah.
And so I had my current nanny at the time. So my daughter was a baby. And I felt so much shame for just that. And so now I think sometimes I'll have a conversation and I'm like, I'm running a business and I have the same, you know, childcare, and you'll still have people that like sort of pass on this sense of like judgment. But yeah, definitely having someone that like cares for your kids and like keeps them entertained and understands them. I think that's been like an amazing asset for our family.
You said you don't cook, so who's cooking in your house?
Okay, guys.
Listen, you know I don't cook in my house. John is the chef,
cooks.
so
Yeah, Shamil's a great cook, and then our babysitter does a lot of cooking as well.
Amazing.
And so that's been how my kids eat. Yeah.
Listen, this is an important conversation to have.
too.
It is.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no
Can't do
shame
it all.
in this. And I think that as moms, we so often are shamed for decisions we make, especially as working moms.
Yeah.
And the different trade-offs we have to do as we go throughout our day. But like at the end of the day, that's also how you, well, one, feed your children or care for your children, or they find folded clothes in their drawers. I mean,
Right.
personally. But like, because you just can't possibly wear that many hats.
You can't.
No.
You can't. And I also think it's really important. And I don't know that I had this realization when I was dating, but I can't imagine doing this without a partner that really was like in it. Like,
Yes.
I see the TikToks of like, my husband doesn't know where the mop is or whatever. And I'm like, it doesn't work. Like, if your life is crazy and your kids have these insane lives, I don't know why their lives are so busy, but they are. My husband is very like hands-on at home, and he has a crazy career himself. But yeah, it just takes like all hands on deck and then some outsourcing.
It's so
And
true.
what a
Yeah.
positive message to also provide to your children that in whatever partnership they have at the end of the day, that it's balanced, right? You help each other out.
Yeah, we give our husbands a lot of flack, right? Like we've coined this hashtag, where are the dads? But we always say we all have husbands who do a lot, and I think talking about it, we've realized that. So all right, shout out to Shamil.
Yeah, shout out. My son Ellington said one day, he was like talking about doing things, and he was like, well, you know, boys do the cooking. Like daddy. And I was like,
that. That's amazing.
yeah.
Wait,
You're like, yes, they do.
Yeah.
You're like, yep.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm just
They
like,
also
I'm
do
not,
laundry.
Yeah. I'm not going to change that view. Like, he'll figure it out.
Plan birthday parties too.
No, they don't plan birthday parties.
No, they don't. Also, why are there so many birthday parties
so
to
many
go
birthday
to?
parties.
I can't keep up.
Yeah, when we're starting that season, I feel like this spring there's like a blitz coming.
Yeah.
And we're like about to enter into a storm.
I don't know. In New York, there's always a birthday party, and it's
a lot.
I know.
It's a lot.
In
It's a
Boston,
lot.
too.
I'm sure. Yeah. I guess it's
a
just
global problem.
It's a global issue.
Yeah.
Global concern. Yeah.
All right. Talk to us about an adversity that you've had in business that you had to overcome.
An adversity.
Hard question, I know.
Yeah.
It's broad.
I don't know. I think we touched on it, but I think the biggest challenge in business is sort of being small in a huge field.
Yeah.
From a resources perspective, a capital perspective, I think that is my everyday challenge. I think there are at different stages in business, other things have occurred, but I think that is always the biggest thing. You're always like leaning on creativity or some sort of connection that a bigger brand cannot achieve, but I think like having lesser resources is just like the biggest challenge. And that is, you know, we're smaller, we're in a huge industry. Raising money as a Black woman, I don't know if you are aware of the statistics there. They're not promising. My experience hasn't countered the norm, hasn't countered the statistics. It's been incredibly challenging.
Really?
Even as a founder with a huge following, great distribution, allure, best of beauty products, all of these things. So I think that's like the biggest thing is really like, when it comes to our customers, they're not like, oh, that's a smaller brand, so I expect less, or I'll take like packaging that doesn't feel right or products that don't work. Like at the end of the day, like when we connect with people, whether it's on social media or on the shelves, we have to like have the same standard as like, your heritage brands. Yeah. And so I think that is just like every day it's how do we like get around this challenge? Mm-hmm. It's like I don't want to be creative. I just want $10 million.
Just give it to me, please.
Just give it to me. 20.
But by the way, your packaging is gorgeous.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. You've done a good job.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's very calming. Like I look at it. So yeah, I ordered
your product.
Face washes in my shower.
Used it, and so
I love that. I love
it's
that.
Very luxe.
Yes, I love that.
You're doing something right.
Yeah.
I know.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that is always like the biggest like thing. And my team, I'm always surprised. Like my team is so passionate and invested. And I'm like, I was a corporate, like I was an attorney in a past life. And so I've always worked in like bigger spaces. So this idea that like someone is showing up for a small, like a growing brand, a startup, is so like surprising to me. And I'm always asking them to do so much. Like, they're doing that. What can we do? And they're like, well, they have a different scenario. But but yeah, I think not only working with less, but like pushing a team of people and saying, show up here.
Yeah.
It's a lot to ask and a lot to deliver. But it's,
How big is the team?
5 of us. There are 5 of us. Yeah.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like that's insane of all you're doing with
you just blew my mind. I thought you were going to say 50.
I thought you were going to be like in the 20 range.
I wish. 5 and we could use like 2 more immediately.
Incredible.
But like, it's a very small team.
You're doing an amazing
small but mighty. Holy cow.
I mean,
you
that
can't,
statement
you can't
is
tell.
like,
Wow.
My jaw's on the floor.
Me too.
All right, you said something that I know you hate this question.
Yeah.
But what made you leave being an attorney and starting Hyper?
I don't think I was, I don't want to say I wasn't a very good attorney. But I think that you'll always be best at what you're passionate about. And I think I loved the idea of law more than the actual practice. The lifestyle, growing up, it was like what I thought like a straight A student should do.
Yeah.
And I thought like when I thought of being a business person, I saw myself like in, I don't know, like a high-rise building in the corner office.
Yeah.
And I think
in a suit.
Oh my gosh, obviously in a suit. And, and now I'm like, I think over the years and just sort of being in the world, and especially when I had children, I realized like, no, my life can't look like it. Not only do I not like it, like I just cannot even make sense of how this would correspond with the life that I truly want to live. And so it wasn't really about like, I think, I could have enjoyed a life in law, but it just didn't resonate on so many levels, especially from a lifestyle perspective with what truly makes me happy and brings out the best in me. So
I think there's so many women who probably feel the same way as you, but are too scared to
just jump.
Scared and like reasonably so. And I always say that, like, I had an amazing salary as an attorney, and my friends that are attorneys are now partners because we started practicing more than a decade ago, and they live amazing lives, and they have double fridges. Like starting all over again is scary. And like, especially I started Hyper when my daughter was 2. Like it's a weird time to start. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I brought this new person into the world who needs all of these things. Let me walk away from
Yeah. And you make another baby and another business baby.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
you have
scary.
3 children, truly.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely don't judge whoever is on the fence about changing careers, because it is scary. It's a big risk.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes that's the best time to start something, when you're just really like running on all cylinders.
Yeah.
And like
I agree.
you just have to jump in, because if you would have waited until when's a good time? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
I don't
never
have
like
any
a perfect time in your life.
Yeah.
But I
So
think
true.
people can always like get caught in their head and just like wait and wait and wait.
Yeah.
And I think I'm getting the sense of you're definitely somebody who thrives in a little bit of chaos and just loves the pressure of it. But that's
a nice way to put it.
That's us too. Like we have to be always moving towards something.
Yeah. But you have to accept that it will be chaotic. And I think that's scary for a lot of people.
I think so too.
So, yeah.
So do you have somebody that's been like an influential mentor, or somebody that's helped guide you through this process, or at least somebody that you've looked up to? And
I think I have a good network. I don't know that I have any one person, because I think like as a beauty founder and a CPG founder generally, there are definitely women. I think I connect more with women. I think our experiences in business are so different. Like, and so definitely there are a lot of models and a lot of people that I have relationships with where I can connect with them about building Hyper. And then I'm fortunate enough to have a great mom circle of women that have crafted a life that matches the sort of families that they want to have. And I think that's been really helpful. I think that's been incredibly helpful.
I think that's so important. I mean, obviously,
Yeah,
we are.
you guys have that with
That's
you.
why we're
It's
doing what we're
amazing.
doing.
Yeah, exactly.
That exact
I think
reason.
I think it's so important to find people that look at family in the same way that you do, and where you can, like you said, like let your guard down and talk about things. I think once I found that, I was like, okay, this can work.
I got
look
this.
at look at this circle.
I know,
So,
and I also love women that are in the mindset of like, there's enough room at the table for all of us,
Yeah.
and helping pass along anything that they've learned along the way. And it sounds like you've been on the receiving end and probably the giving end of that.
Yeah.
And we feel the same way. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you touched upon this before, a little bit about statistics of Black-owned businesses and female Black-owned businesses. So what, I hate to put this on you to answer this question, but how can we support Black-owned businesses as white women?
Yeah.
Right? What can we be doing that we're not doing?
That's a good question. And it's a hard one, because I do know, I mean, I am a brand founder, but I'm also a consumer.
Yeah.
And we support things that resonate with us, right? And so I think what's most important is to think broadly and to look at things broadly. Like, take a look in your community. Are you supporting the Black-owned restaurants? Is it because it's not your type of food, or because you never like searched for that? I think the same with beauty or products in general. It's good to have a consciousness, and even I need to do that. I mean, it's very easy for me to go into a Sephora and not buy something Black owned, and so I have a consciousness of, these are brands that are Black owned, and of these brands, because they're not all going to resonate with me, these do. And I think that's our consumer hat, and like not stretching it to shop in a way you don't. But just to be like more mindful of newness. It can be fun too. And I think whatever power you have in other areas outside of being a consumer, like having a media outlet, just thinking broadly about how you use it. Because I think the biggest support is using what you have to uplift businesses that you want to see in the world. So yeah, if it's media, then think about who else you can bring on that, can vibe with you. You know what I
think
mean?
that's great advice.
Thank you for that answer.
Yeah, it's so easy. I do the same thing. I'm like, have to get out of my own circle.
Yeah.
And so I think that's.
I appreciate that. Get out of your own circle.
Yeah.
It's important, right?
I think
Totally.
so.
We've talked a lot about, we're still in January technically while we're recording this.
How is it still January?
Still January.
But we have talked a bit about goals and setting goals. So do you set goals, and how do you do it? Do you write them down? Did you set some like at the beginning of the month for 2024? Talk us through that a bit.
This is happening. This is, I don't, well, I'll be honest and then you guys can make it work.
No, be honest. We want the honest answer.
I don't usually set goals.
Okay.
But this year I have some big goals, personally and business wise. And so I literally booked a hotel room for this weekend because I didn't start the year.
Stop it.
I didn't start the year doing this because it's unlike me. Like, I guess I am a manifestation person.
Yeah.
But I've never done the vision board and I've never done the lists. I've just kind of said I want to do things and I've worked towards them.
Yeah.
But sometimes what you want to do is so like different than what you're actually doing that you need to sort of take a step back.
Yeah.
And I think this year I needed to do that. So I literally booked a hotel room for this weekend to like create my board and more importantly, the list that supports the board.
I love
because I can obviously create a vision board and like sit on social media and get these great images from Pinterest. But I feel like I need the first steps to getting towards item A and item B. So yeah, I think there are small things that we can do, but I think when it comes to big changes, like you need to really like take steps, write lists. Yeah.
And make the time. I think that's such an important message is make the time. To clear your head and your tasks to just focus on that.
Force yourself to stop and actually focus on that for the weekend.
Yes, because I've been saying that I'll do it at home, but obviously my house is insane. So
wait, also, can we come with you?
Are there spa treatments involved? Because I feel like that would really...
It's all work.
That would really center me to be able to think about 24.
I told my husband and he was like, that sounds like
sounds suspicious.
Like, but you're staying here.
You're staying here and I'm going there.
So it's so important to spend time for yourself and time like to think about your business and your personal life. It's just, I love that.
We preach that and I think we need to take our own advice. And
I don't do it enough, but I definitely will take a day away.
Yeah.
I feel like when you want to do something that is bringing you to the next level, you kind of need to like think about it. And sometimes life gets too noisy. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great
that's amazing advice. Okay. Did we go through everything?
Yeah, I think so.
We have some fun questions now for you that
You're in the hot seat.
Not so scary. You're in the hot seat.
Okay, I'll sit back. I feel like I'm sitting like this.
I know, it's hard with the mic because you're like trying to talk into the mic and you want to be comfortable. I find like I hunch the entire time. We're using the mics. All right. So it's Mom's Night Out. Mm-hmm. What is your drink of choice?
Ooh, like a mezcal margarita.
Oh,
I like mezcal.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
That actually sounds great right now.
Yeah, that does sound delicious.
Or a paloma. I like a mezcal a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Tequila will do too.
So you'd fit right in with this group because we also all love tequila.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Where is your next top destination as far as travel goes?
Oh, like in reality?
In reality, yeah.
I was going to say fantasy.
Okay.
I'll do reality because fantasy feels so like...
far away.
Yeah, far away. Like Barcelona.
Ooh.
Yeah. I feel like my kids are finally at an age where we can have a trip like that. And I can enjoy it. So I think that's like next on the list.
Isn't it cool to be hitting that next stage of life? I feel like
no strollers. Like
I know. Our kids are the same age.
Yeah.
I feel like finally we can just go.
We can do things. Yeah. Jealous. It feels really nice.
You guys are almost there.
I know.
Katie is there.
I'm hitting it. You got a year, maybe
a minute.
Yeah.
But
getting out of diapers
dinner
was huge.
That's huge. Yeah.
And
getting rid of the stroller is huge. There are so many different phases.
Yeah.
We traveled to Mexico City last summer for a few weeks. And my son is not in a stroller, but he still needs to be carried after a while.
Which is exhausting.
So I was like, no, we need to wait because I don't want to carry you around Europe, that's not happening.
No, thank you.
But now I think this summer, we could move.
Yeah,
that's
you're good.
Exciting.
So fun.
Well, keep us posted. I'll be following along on Instagram for that. Okay, what was your biggest surprise about being a mom? We recently just discussed that on an episode.
I think the biggest surprise, this sounds really silly, but I am always surprised by how kids have a personality from day one. Like, I don't know when I thought we got our personalities, but I didn't think it was at like 2 or 3 or 4. But like my kids have consistently been themselves.
Yeah.
And they only learn to express themselves more. But like my daughter's personality is like, I'm pretty sure I can imagine her as an adult already.
I love that.
If we allow her to be like who she truly is.
Yeah.
And so I'm always like fascinated by that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that you said allow her to be who she truly is, because we talk about this all the time. It's how do you foster that and let your kids be who they are and not squash their amazing, unique personalities, right? Because it doesn't always fit in with what we're doing.
Exactly.
It doesn't always match us.
It doesn't.
No, definitely does not match us.
My kids were sent to test me for sure.
Yeah, same.
And make me grow. So
Same.
That was a good answer though to that question.
yeah.
I love hearing everybody's answer. I could just walk the streets of New York City and ask everybody, and they'd be like, "Creep, don't talk to me." All right. Do you listen to podcasts?
No.
All right.
I love that honest answer.
You know what's funny? Before I started this podcast, I did not listen to podcasts.
So I sadly want to be a podcast. I've given up actually. But for, I would say the first 3 years of business, anytime I talk to another founder, they're like, oh, like, this is my favorite podcast. And do you listen to like this guy and this person?
Yeah.
And everyone has their short list. And I felt like maybe I'll be a better, like, you know, entrepreneur if I listen to this. And I just like listen. And I think I think a lot of people just say the same thing over and over and over.
That's true.
And so I just like, and people don't get past the surface level. And so as a fellow, so I just, I don't, but I'm open. Is this going
Mom's
on?
Night Out is your new favorite.
No, you know what? I actually love the vibe because it's very like refreshing to just hear real conversation.
Yeah.
Instead of like what sounds like marketing pitches and like,
I know.
just very.
I don't love the business podcasts. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah,
I like the real.
Some of them.
You do.
I feel like that's why we started this show, is like we just wanted to get on and talk and laugh and like have some serious issues and a lot of funny issues and just find like a community. So but believe me, before October, podcasts were not my thing.
I do listen to them, but I don't have a favorite. I feel like I'm always trying to listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
Also, as a New Yorker, you're not in the car a lot.
I know.
Right?
No, but I like, you know what? We have a car.
You do?
Yeah, we have a car. And then I'm on the subway. Like
So you
like,
could.
I have my
There's a
headphones.
space to
Yeah,
listen.
there's space.
So do you listen to music?
Yeah, I'm more likely to listen to music than
I appreciate that.
But I'm always trying. So let me know what you guys are listening to.
No judgment.
We listen to a lot of them right now.
Right, you guys
just
we
market
have to,
research.
And I
Market
think that's
research.
probably why I listen to too many business podcasts. And I probably need to just give that up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them out
topics
there,
that
though. There's a lot of podcasts out there.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of beauty podcasts. And
I bet.
Oh, yeah, true.
yeah.
I get that.
Okay. I think this might be the final question.
Okay.
What is your spirit animal?
Oh. I don't know.
That's okay if you don't have one.
I don't know.
It's a hard on the spot question.
It is.
know. Sorry.
It is. I don't know that I know enough about animals to answer this question. So I saw this, it may be in my head because I just saw it, but like I saw a panda bear like rolling.
Wait, that's hilarious.
Did you see that?
No, but I love, that's my favorite animal, so I might say that.
Like it's like they're, you know, obviously you have
I
to be
love
a
that.
bear. So you have to be like a serious animal, but like
You're a badass
you're also
panda.
like rolling around sometimes when you can because like why not?
Yeah.
If you can roll, just roll. So
roll with it.
I don't know.
like that answer.
I'm gonna choose panda bear today, but like I'll probably go home and think of a much better answer.
All right.
later.
If you do, we'll follow up to the
send it to
listeners
you.
and we'll do
call
a
you.
post. We'll be like, just so you know, Desiree changed her
Redacted.
mind.
Exactly.
I did that last week. I couldn't think of an actor, and I was like, FYI, everyone, it's this person who
figured
would
it
play
out.
me.
Oh, I like
So
that.
we'll follow up for you.
Okay, I like that.
Froze on the spot.
Yeah. Desiree,
Yeah.
thank you so much for, I hope this was fun.
This was fun. I loved it.
We appreciate
Oh my
you
God.
so much, and you are incredible, and thank you.
Thank you guys so much. This was so fun.
Yeah, so fun. Thank you.
Cheers.